Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining Srimad Bhagavatam class. And today we'll start with Kirtan and then we'll read from Srimad Bhagavatam 4.9.63. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Kunja Bihari Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Pavanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Jaya Vrindavanada 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 Jaya Vrindavanada Jaya Radha Gopishana Vallabha Radha Gopishana Vallabha Radha Jai Nitai Patisa Pavan Gaurani Jai Nitai Patisa Pavan Gaurani Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Hare Krishna, dear thank you so much for joining today's class. We will be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 9, verse number 63. 4963. उद्यानानि च रम्यानि उद्यानानि च रम्यानि विचित्रै अमरद्रुमै विचित्रै अमरद्रुमै कुजद्विहङ्गा मृत्युनैर् कुजद्विहङ्गमृत्युनैर् गायन्मत मधुव्रत गायन्मत मधुव्रते उद्यानि च रम्यानि विचित्रै अमरद्रुमै कुजद्विहङ्गमृत्युनैर् गायन्मत मधुव्रते उद्यानानि च रम्यानि विचित्रै अमरद्रुमै कुजद्विहङ्गमृत्युनैर् गायन्मत्ता मधुव्रते उद्यानानि च रम्यानि विचित्रै अमराद्रुमै कुजद्विहङ्गमृत्युनैर् गायन्मत्ता मधुव्रते उद्यानानि च रम्यानि विचित्रै अमराद्रुमै कुजद्विहङ्गमृत्युनैर् word synonyms. Udyanani, gardens. Cha, also. Ramyani, very beautiful. Vichitre, various. Amara Drumai, with trees brought from the heavenly planets. Kujan, singing. Vihanga, of birds. Mithunai, with pairs. Gayat, humming. Matta, mad. Madhu Vratai, with bumblebee. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. The king's residence was surrounded by gardens wherein there were varieties of trees brought from the heavenly planets. In those trees, there were pairs of sweetly singing birds and almost mad bumblebees, which made a very relishable buzzing sound. Purport. In this verse, the word Amara Dhrumai, with trees brought from the heavenly planets, is very significant. The heavenly planets are known as Amaraloka, the planets where death is very much delayed because the people there live for 10,000 years according to the calculation of the demigods, in which our 6 months are equal to 1 day. The demigod live in the heavenly planets for months, years, and 10,000s of years according to demigod time. And then again, after the result of their pious activities are exhausted, they fall down to this earth. These are the statements that can be collected from Vedic literature. As the people there live for 10,000 years, so also do the trees. Of course, here on this earth, there are many trees which live for 10,000 years. So, what to speak of the trees on the heavenly planet? They must live for more than many 10,000s of years. and sometimes, as practiced even now, some valuable trees are taken from one place to another. It is elsewhere stated that when Lord Krishna went to the heavenly planets with his wife Satyabhama, he took a parijat flower tree from heaven and brought it to the earth. There was a fight between Krishna and the demigods due to the parijat trees being taken from heaven to this planet. The parijat was planted in the palace of Lord Krishna, which was occupied by Queen Satyabhama. The flower and fruit trees in the heavenly planets are superior, for they are very pleasant and tasteful. And it appears that in the palace of Maharaj Uttanapad there were many varieties of such trees. We'll recite Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Swapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shvapadam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanitam Tam Sari Advaitam Sahatam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubheshya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हुकुम करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरोन् दीनतारिणं परमानन्दं Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. And I seek blessing from everybody, Yugal Kishore Prabhuji, and all the senior Vaishnavas and all the Vaishnavas present here and Samavita Bhakturind. Hare Krishna. So today we see that in so many places in Srimad Bhagavatam there are so many detailed description about the nature, about the surroundings, about what is happening. For example, in Gajendra's pastime also we see that Sukadeva Goswami is describing in detail about the Trikut Parvat where Gajendra was there and that Shir Sagar on that Shir Sagar there was this island and in that island there was a Trikut Parvat. One Parvat is made of gold, one is made of iron, one is made of silver, and very detailed description of how there what kind of animals were there, what kind of fruits, what kind of trees, and then in the end, Sukhdev Goswami after finishing the pastime of Gajendra Moksha, he says that whoever remembers each and every detail of this forest will go back to Godhead. Why? Why did he say like that? Because I was hearing from my spiritual master, he said that because Lord appeared there in the Trikut Parvat to save Gajendra. So wherever Lord appears, that place will become spiritualized. And if you remember anything of that place, you'll go back to Godhead. So that is what that is the falshruti of Gajendra Moksha. And then even in the canto 4, starting of the canto 4 only, we have seen that when there was a Daksha Yajna destroyed, and all the demigods wanted to take wanted to pacify Lord Shiva. They go to Kailash Parvat, and then each and every detail it was described how Kailash Parvat is, what kind of plants, what kind of animals, what kind of fruits, what kind of trees, what kind of flowers in each and every detail. So why again their details? Because if we remember the details, we will remember Lord Shiva as who is Param Vaishnava. So that is why details are described. And even in Kardam Muni's pastime, where when he built this palace, with each and every detail, what and all are there in his palace is described. And similarly here in Dhruv Maharaj pastime, everything is described in very each and very minute details and very significant details. Why it is described here? In purport, Srila Prabhupada took this opportunity to say that how this Shastras describe about pages and pages about the beauty of heavenly planet and beauty of demigods. But in the end, they all come to one point saying that it is temporary. So here the plants which were present in Uttanapad, who is Uttanapad? He is son of Swayambhu Manu, who was the first Manu. So very it is not impossible for Uttanapad to have something from heavenly planet. So it is described that these plants live for long, and even we see that citizens of heavenly planets also live very long. They are so beautiful, and Bhakti Ashray Swami Maharaj was, I was hearing from one class on Ramayana one day, and he said that how demigod's life is. Demigod life is like one and zero. There is nothing in between. For example, our life have birth, death. Then in between there is old age, disease, and there are six changes which we go. Like we take birth, we grow, then we maintain, we create byproducts, and then we dwindle, and then we die. There are six changes happens in our human body. But demigod's body, they only take birth and then they die. There is no birth, there is no old age, there is no, sorry, there is no old age, there is no disease, and there is nothing of like a handicapped demigod or their body is very perfect. And in somewhere we have read in Srimad Bhagavatam itself that when this concerts of demigods or like apsaras or damsels from heavenly planets, they come and they take bath in a river. They leave their fragments in the river. But what is the speciality of human body? They only create dirt. So from the human body only dirt comes like sweat or dead skin or nails. These are all dirt. But the body of demigods and apsaras is that speciality is that they release fragments, and because of their taking bath, river will become the river water of the river and the surroundings will have very nice fragrance. So why these are all discussed in the shastras is to to show the power of attachment. We humans, even though we have this kind of whoever is staying in this mrittiloka, in this earthly realm, whether it is animal, any kind of animal, whether it is hog, dog, cat, or whatever, or whether it is us like human beings, even though our body is not nothing compared to demigods, but still we are attached. It is very difficult to get detached from this body. We try to maintain this body, we try to put cosmetics and try to look good. And those demigods, when they see us, even with the cosmetics, they think like, oh, these are like cats and dog, very dirty body and everything. Why? Because in the heavenly planets, everything is very nice, very clean. They don't even have a bathrooms because they never pass stool or urine. But we have to, we go through all this kind of or we have to go through this process every day. And even after having this kind of things, we are still attached to this body. So what to speak of those people who are in heavenly planet? In the fifth canto, there is somewhere demigods are praying to the Lord that we we perform so much pious activities, and we got this heaven, we came to this heavenly planet, we became residents of this heavenly planet. Now we are realizing that we we did the most blunderous thing of our life, because here in this heavenly planet it is very difficult for us to find a place where there is Krishna Katha going on every time, and it is very difficult for us to find some Bhagavata, like book Bhagavat and devotee Bhagavat, and it is very difficult to stay unattached. But but those who are those who are the devotees of the Lord, and those who hear about the Lord, they are very great. We are not very great. And also they say, on top of this, they also say that we don't get to hear Krishna Katha, we are in ignorance. They say like that we are very ignorant. In Ishopanishad, in the 12th 12th mantra of Ishopanishad, it is said that the translation is, those who are engaged in the worship of demigod enter into the darkest region of ignorance, and still more, so do the worshipper of the impersonal absolute. So it is said that those who worship demigods enter into the darkest region of ignorance, like Tamogun, Mahatamogun. So that is same thing demigods are also saying, that we are in ignorance because we don't get opportunity to worship Lord. Even if we want to, because we have so much attached, we have so much sense gratification, and we are so much attached to all the sense gratification and fication objects. Even if we want to, we cannot. So that is what the demigods are also praying to the Lord, that we did the greatest blunder in our lives by attaining the residence of heavenly planet. So that is what Srila Prabhupada is also explaining. Srila Prabhupada took this opportunity to explain, even though it looks very glamorous, heavenly planet, that we hear in fifth canto about the trees of heavenly planet, fruits of heavenly planet. The mango tree in a heavenly planet is as big as an elephant, and once it fall down, when it bursts into a river, and the river flows continuously. So that kind of mango tree heavenly planet have, that kind of fruits and flowers heavenly planets consist. And then there bees and trees and everybody, like here also in our earthly planet, there are redwood trees in Merewood forest, which are staying, which are alive from 9,000 years. So 5,000 years ago, when Krishna was here, they were there. So that long they are living. So compared to them, we can see how long. trees in heavenly planets live, but ultimately they are temporary. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that there are so many universes which comes and goes, and one day of Brahma, in one day of Brahma, 14 Manus change, and when 14 Manus change, 14 Indras change. So one day of Brahma, only so many all the administrators of this universe change. Then what to speak of 100 years of Brahma? But still, 100 years of Brahma is also like a bubble in the in an ocean which just burst like that, because Mahavishnu is is lying in a causal ocean, and from his pores bubbles are coming. When he inhales, when he exhales, all the universes come, and when he inhales, everything goes into non-existence. So just one breath difference, everything comes and goes. So that is the temporary nature of this universe. So if we are attached to all these glamorous things of this material world, then we'll always be suffering in this material world, because there are only two, either we can get attached to temporary things, or we can get attached to something which is permanent, and only one thing is permanent in this material world, and that is Krishna and devotees of Krishna. So if we get attached to the devotees of Krishna, or to Krishna, to the service of Krishna, then only we will make our life successful. If we are attached to going to heavenly planets and enjoy, then we are going in the ignorance and great darkest region of ignorance, not just ignorance, darkest region of ignorance. So andatama, they say, that much ignorance we will be going, even though it will, because it will take us away from the reality. What is the reality? The reality of this material world is, it is a place of temporary, and it's a place of misery. Even though there is nice sense gratification in heavenly planets, but still there is so much suffering also. We all know the pastime of Samudra Manthan, how it started. First, when first demi asuras attacked heavenly planets, and demigods won that battle, and after they won that battle, everybody were killed actually, including Bali Maharaj was also killed in that battle. But then our their guru Shukracharya, yes, Shukracharya, he had that mantra, Sanjeevani mantra. So from that mantra, he actually revived all the asuras, and then they started performing so much austerity, especially Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj was involved in serving the Brahmanas. He was serving Brahmanas very nicely, and all the Brahmanas were very happy with Bali Maharaj. And one day, what happened in heavenly planet? The guru of demigods, Brahaspati, he came to the court, and then Lord Indra, for a moment, did not care to offer his obeisances to his guru, and that's it. His guru left left all the demigods, and this news came to again demons, and they now came to attack. And as soon as they came to attack, Lord Indra saw Bali Maharaj effulgence, because he was serving Brahmanas so much. He couldn't even dare to stand in front of Bali Maharaj, and he left his kingdom. And then demigods came into rule, and they were just roaming here and there for the shelter, but they were not having shelter. So this pastime shows that even heavenly planet also there is so much misery. Not only in earthly planet, there is so much happiness in heavenly planet, but the misery is also at equal level. The misery is also very great. So that is why it is very, and that too, their body will stay as it is. Their body will not change. So their misery keeps continuing. If there is a misery, it keeps continuing. And even if they want to get rid of misery, they have to go through it. They cannot die in between. So that is the problem of heavenly planet. So sometimes heavenly planet also become like a hellish planet. So what is good for us in this situation? The best bet for us is to take shelter of Krishna. There is nothing else except Krishna. Everything except Krishna is Maya. So if we take shelter of Maya, we all know, we have all gone through so much experience. We don't have to speak elaborately on this. That everyone is suffering. Everybody suffered also, and Maya is so strong that it makes us forget our suffering, and we again want to go and enjoy the same thing from which we are getting suffering. But if we take shelter of Krishna, we'll get that knowledge. We'll come out of the darkest ignorance, and we'll get that knowledge of how to avoid getting again entangled in Maya. So only in the association of devotees will come to know this. Otherwise, if we are not in the association of devotees, will again get caught by Maya. And again the cycle of suffering starts. It's like chewing the chewed. We first chewed and we experience pain and again we will chew it. That's what Prabhupada gave that one old man. He's suffering in his marriage and he wants his kids to go again and suffer in the same in the same way as he's suffering. We have this example of Daksha also, who came as a son of Prachetas. He, even in that life, when Daksha came as a son of Prachetas, he was he was a Prajapati, progenitor, and then he wanted his sons to first do lot of austerity, get purified, and then get married, and then suffer in the marriage, and then realize that there is no happiness in this material world, and then become devotees of the God and go back to Godhead. But then Narad Muni said, why you want to become, why you are, instead of eating straight in your mouth, why you want to eat like this? Just, just now you are getting purified, then continue being purified, continue devotional service in your purified state, and you'll go back to Godhead very easily. Why you want to suffer and go back to Godhead? Narad Muni preached the 10,000 sons of Daksha, and then they were convinced, and they actually followed Narad Muni, and then they went back to Godhead. So that is what people, because of the lack of knowledge, we think that by experience only we can become purified. But Prabhupada in Nectar of Instruction, he said there are three kinds of intelligent people. First, who just understand by hearing. They just by hearing they'll come to know that, oh, this is the reality of the world. We have to stay away from it. Like how by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing from devotees, hearing from acharyas, they'll understand that we have to stay away from this material world, and our only business here is to purify our heart, which is filled with six anarthas, and purify your heart and go back to Godhead. Otherwise, there is another kind of intelligent person who learn by seeing. They don't get convinced by hearing. They think that, oh, it is a mythology. But once they see that, oh yeah, whatever it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam, they see people going through suffering. And then by seeing their suffering, they get convinced, they get full faith on the scriptures, and then they continue. But there is another kind who learns after going through experience. So they hear, they don't understand, they see, they don't understand, but they go through experience. Then only they'll understand that yes, whatever is said in Shastra, whatever we have heard, whatever we have seen is right. So we have to follow Shastra. So we have to give up all our material attachment, and we have to fully focus on devotional service. But there is another kind who doesn't learn by any of the three. They have to keep, then they get attracted to heavenly planets. They want to go to heavenly planets and enjoy, and then they want to enjoy more and more. But until what time? They'll enjoy only until their pious activities are finished. Once their pious activities are finished, they have to come back, and then again they have to suffer. So they keep going through experience, keep going through experience, keep going through experience, and then ultimately, after so many births, there is a chance that they will learn. But even then, there is no guarantee. By the mercy of the Lord only, these kind of people can get some association of devotees, and then they will come out of their tendency. So now we got this nice opportunity. We got the nice association of devotees by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So we have to take this opportunity, and by taking this opportunity, we have to purify our anarthas, and we have to make our attachment. We have to dovetail our attachment to Krishna and Krishna's service and devotees of Krishna. Otherwise, again, we will lose this opportunity. Then we don't know when we'll get again the mercy of devotees, when we'll get the mercy of Krishna. We'll get for sure, but don't know when. One, even if once somebody has chanted the holy name of the Lord, even if once somebody has come in association of the Lord, even if once somebody has come to temple and took the darshan of the Lord, even if once somebody knowingly and or unknowingly ate the prasad of the Lord, they will get mercy for sure. But now it depends on us how long it will take. If we have opportunity to take this mercy in this lifetime, end our business and go back to Godhead, or if we take it very casually, then we might have to take some more births, but we'll get mercy for sure. There is no doubt about it. But somebody will go fast, somebody will go slow, somebody will be in the rocket, somebody will be in the plane, somebody will be in the bullock cart. So we have to decide where we have to stay. So Krishna have his own ways to purify us. Maybe uh, maybe for some the purification is just by being brahmachari you will become purified. For some might be in grust and be purified. For some, they might have some other suffering like disease and get purified. For some, they might have some other things, but Krishna have his own ways of purifying everybody. But Krishna knows how to purify everybody. So this is a good hope, at least hope for everybody. Even the demigods who were little, who were little inclined for devotional service, they could speak this kind of verses in heavenly planets, saying that those who the where there is no Krishna Katha, where there are no Bhagavatas, book Bhagavat or devotee Bhagavat, they are that place is the most unfortunate place, and it is the darkest region of the hell. Even in the heavenly planets, they are speaking like this. That means they know. That means they have a desire to get the mercy of the Lord. They have a desire to get the association of devotees. They have desire to hear about the Lord. If not in that lifetime, they'll come in the next lifetime. They might come on the earthly planet and become devotees, take birth in devotees, and they might go back to Godhead. But the point is, you might. you have to take birth again, you have to go through suffering again. So that is why it's better to finish our business in this lifetime only. When we got this opportunity, why to lose this opportunity? By getting so much affected, fascinated by these heavenly planets. If we if we are so much fascinated by this heavenly planet, then we will have to we are that third kind and fourth kind of intelligent person who have to go through experience and understand, or after some lifetimes we'll understand. So that is why we have to dovetail our attachment to something which is permanent. And only thing which is permanent in this world, material and spiritual world, is Krishna and Krishna's devotees. Except them, there is nothing permanent in this material world. Everything is temporary. So, by this note, I want to end today's class. Please forgive me if I have spoken anything wrong. And if there are any corrections, you can correct me. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Anything you want to? Anything? Anything on the Zoom? If nobody have anything, then we'll end here.
Thank you, Prabhu. Wonderful class.
Whatever I heard, I spoke really. Thank you so much. Please
Jai.
pray that whatever I spoke, I can follow myself.
Jai.
Okay, then we'll end here. वाचा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव दिखते शिल प्रभुपाद
Jai.
की जय।
Rohininandan Prabhu ki jai.
समय तब अपने कीजिए। थैंक यू सो मच।